we will start with a couple of pieces of information. The first being this document. It's not easy to find, and if anyone would like it, we can send this to you via email. It's the quick reference guide for people using a physical phone. It's a very very good piece of documentation that, again, isn't easy to find, but it can be very helpful if someone is using 8x8, specifically using a desktop phone. So we will send this out to the folks that are on the call. You may find this helpful. The other piece of information that that we've designed is a welcome to 8x8 email. And this is something that we've designed. We didn't necessarily like what 8x8 designed, I guess you could say. It was okay, but we believe what we've put together is a little better. It's a little more descriptive. I think it's better in terms of geared to people that don't know the terminology of 8x8, maybe just plain new to it or have never used the desktop or mobile app. So this email is designed to get people up and running quickly in terms that you'll be able to read and understand, and not need to know a lot of 8x8 acronyms. So I guess, Pete, Christy, would you feel that's a good description of what we've put together here?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. As you see, it will go through downloading the desktop app, how to log into the desktop application, record voicemail greetings, right? Personal greetings, make test calls using the app, download the mobile app. So they have a fantastic mobile app for Android or iPhone users. So very good app. This is how to get the most of it. We walk through and give you some links of how to install the desktop app. We also included some short videos packed with tips on getting started. There's also a calendar integration, another item that's not easily found, but there's a great calendar integration to quickly be able to add an 8x8 meeting and invite people. So again, these are the links. We've hyperlinked these icons. If you're an Office 365 versus an Outlook versus a Google Calendar user. We go through a quick tutorial of how to set up voicemail greetings, right? Step-by-step process. You'll hear the term virtual office. So the virtual office is essentially the desktop and mobile application. So when you hear the word virtual office, essentially they're focused on talking about the applications themselves, and then the virtual office mobile, specific to the mobile app. So something about if you use the mobile app, which is a fantastic tool, you'll find that that mobile app will ring anytime that you receive an inbound call. It does not know whether you're inside or outside business hours. So you will need to set, if you don't want to receive calls outside, let's say 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, you'll need to set a business hour schedule. What this will do is allow for people to still call you if maybe you're on your soft phone or maybe at a desk phone. Those will continue to ring, but your mobile app will not. So there's a difference between putting yourself in a do not disturb versus using this schedule. If you put yourself in a do not disturb on your mobile app, it will suppress any calls, whether it's at your desk phone, into your soft phone. It will suppress them and drop the call directly into voicemail. So what we found is some people try to put themselves in a do not disturb on their mobile app, not realizing that they're suppressing their ring, right, on their desk phone or their soft phone. So that's why using this schedule or manually, you can also manually set the mobile app not to ring, but your other applications, again, your desktop and your physical phone will ring. This also goes through how to manage voicemail, faxes, call recording, things like that. And obviously you can, this is a big one, a lot of our 8x8 users use their 8x8 application, whether it's the desktop app or the mobile app, for SMS texting, right? So no more do you need to use your cell phone, right? Maybe your mobile phone is your own phone, right? Your private number. No longer do you need to SMS text from your mobile phone. You can do it right from your application. All right, so we're going to get to the desktop app itself. So when you do log in, I am obviously logged in here. It will come up, and I don't know if it actually defaults to the calendar. I do have it linked to my calendar, so it brings in my my day and my next couple of days of events. But what I'll do is I'll start up here. So what I did here, I clicked up in the upper left-hand corner. You can either put a picture of yourself, a picture of anything. So I chose to have a little scene here. But this is how I can put my status in a do not disturb or busy or away, right? So I can choose one of these, and then of course, if someone calls me, you know, my phone won't ring. So I might be in a meeting, or I might be just working on a project. I want to suppress that desktop ring or the phone from ringing altogether. I put myself in one of these do not disturb modes. From an outbound perspective, I do have the choice of blocking my caller ID. I also have the option of using my DID or the business's main number. So sometimes we lock this down. Sometimes from an administration standpoint, we don't allow users to choose which caller ID that they're sending out, and that's from an administration level. So if you imagine your organization makes a decision whether people are always going to send out the main number or allow people to use their DID specifically, or you might have some people that send out the main number and other people that send out their DID. We've chosen here to allow for the user to make the decision, right? So I, as a user, have a decision of using the main caller ID, my DID, or again, block caller ID altogether. So I will log into my profile on the 8x8 portal, and this will allow me to set up my voicemail greetings. So if I want to change the external greeting, I click here. Or if I want to change my name and last name, I change here. Now, that doesn't mean that if I change my voicemail name and last name, I'm changing my name from Joe Spampanato to something else, right? Maybe I want to adjust the recording, right? So let's do that. If I click change, I want to create an audio file. So I can either upload an audio file that's already been created or call a number to record, right? So maybe I just call my extension and it prompts me to record my name, my spoken name, as I like to say. Once I do that, I can then select it, right? So here we are. I have my spoken name and I select it. And that's the that's what I'm using, right? I'm using my spoken name for things like auto attendance. If I don't have a greeting, a customized greeting, it will use my spoken name. I can have an external voicemail greeting, meaning if somebody from outside the company calls, I have one specific greeting. I can have an internal voicemail greeting, right? For anyone to internal calling my extension. Right? This is how I can send notification, right? Via email, or I can disable it, or I can send the attachment only. So I have options on how I want to receive notification in my email. I can reset my voicemail PIN. So if I'm calling into voicemail using my phone, or maybe calling from outside the office, I can reset my PIN here, right? And I click save, right? Go back to this. If I want to set up some call forwarding rules, I click here. And again, it will open up the portal. Here are my call forwarding rules. I can forward all calls to another number if I want. I don't have that one selected. If the internet goes down, or maybe my primary and my secondary internet goes down, what do I want the system to do? I have it sent to my voicemail, but I could send all those calls maybe to an external number, right? So that can be very handy. If I'm busy, send it to voicemail. Or maybe if I'm busy, I send it to someone else, right? I choose this and I select another, right? So maybe I want Kelly to take all my calls if I'm busy. I like that option. Kelly does not. All right.
No, I don't.
You don't. Okay. What if I don't? What if I don't answer? Right. Same idea. I can send all my calls to somebody else. Right. How about this? When a user gets a call from a blocked caller, do I want to reject the call? Or maybe if I get one of these calls, right? Selected caller, right? So maybe, just maybe, right? I get a call from a particular number, my wife. I want all those to get directed to my cell phone, right? You get the idea. Some systems call this power routing. It's almost like an auto reply or a rule in Outlook. Basically, that's what this is. Right? All right. Save that. All right. This is where you can find some more help. This is going to give me the version of the virtual office desktop I'm running. This always should be updated. Anytime you turn on your machine or log back on, the application will prompt you to do an upgrade if there is an upgrade. So essentially, this should always be updated for you. Of course, I showed you how to log out. That was pretty efficient. And if I want to quit the application, meaning quit it and stop it from running in the background. All right. Let's see. So there's a search button. So if I want to look for Manny, I can find Manny in the company directory. I can call Manny, and he should answer. Right? I can also, if instant messaging is turned on, I can send him an instant message here. Now, instant messaging does not need to always be turned on. We can suppress that. So don't worry if you're using some other application for instant messaging internally. If I'm a part of a work group or a queue, my queues will show up here. This is how I log into it if I'm logged out. Right? I'm assigned to this test call queue. If I log in, Now I will be able to answer calls. If I want to log out, I can log out there. Oh, all right, I'll show you that in a second. So those are call queues. If I'm a part of multiple call queues, they will show up here. Yeah, we'll stop that from there. If I click on this voice analytics, I'll show you what that shows like. Right, here's the queue board. So this will give me a lot of information about the queue that I'm assigned to. Making a call is easy. I can do it a couple of different ways. I can look at my previous calls. I can look at my missed calls. I can call that anybody back here, right? By just clicking the link. I can look at my voicemails if I have any. Looks like I have a, that's interesting, Manny. You must have left me a message on the queue. Right, so I can listen to that message.
So I heard the voicemail.
There you go. So all users or all agents of the queue will also receive this message. So once it's received and listened to in full, that will go from new to listen to. All right. So if I want to make a new call, let's say I click here. I can click the dial pad and I can add the number, right? And click call, and it will call that person. If I have my Outlook integrated, I can pull up the person's name out of Outlook and make the call that way. All right, so that's calls. This is contacts. So favorite, right? I can see people that are assigned as my favorites. I can see everyone that's assigned to my company. And I can look at people either that I've added manually by clicking this link, or I have Outlook integration installed and all my Outlook contacts will show up here, and those would be searchable. This next tab is messages. So anyone that I've had messages with, right? Conversations, whether it's a phone number, SMS text, or someone internal, right? I can just click the link and send a message. Okay. Oh, these are one-on-one messages, and then I can build rooms, right? So I can have a test. As you can see, I have a test room where multiple people are part of that group, and I can send a message, and everyone part of that group will get that message. And Christy responds with a hello. All right, meetings. Meetings are very powerful. We're using the 8x8 meetings today. If I'm in my 8x8 product and I click the start meeting, it'll launch me. This might break me. Hold on one second. I don't want to do that. If I click the start meeting, it will launch me into a meeting. If I don't want to do that because it will actually, I'm using the web browser to do this meeting, so I don't want to do that. But I can start the meeting, and inside that, you'll be given the ability to invite people, things like that. If I have the Outlook integration, which I find is the easiest, this is how I invite people to a meeting, right? So I have a typical Outlook appointment. I click the Add Virtual Office Meeting. It puts in the information. So I'm going to say this is a test meeting for 8x8. Invite my attendees. All right, I pick the time and date. You know, this is going to be a late meeting. Sorry, folks. All right, and I send it. So pretty powerful. It adds it as an invite, adds it into my Outlook, and now it's set up as a meeting. Once that populates, you can see my test meeting for 6 tonight. So I'll be prompted by Outlook. I'll be prompted by you know, the 8x8 product itself. It'll give me a badge that I'm late to a meeting. I come in here, I click the join button, I'm added right into the meeting. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. If I have been a part of a meeting and it's been recorded, so specifically, if I stretch this here, okay, if I stretch it a little more, as you can see, I have a recording button. So we had a meeting last week, specifically on the 15th. It was what we call our Tech Talks live series, and Big Leaf was the vendor. There's the recording. I can come in here, download the recording, right? I can forward the recording. So that's how I can determine and find a recorded meeting that I've been had been invited to. These are my upcoming meetings. This is how I join those, right? And so on. If I chose to record a call, not a meeting, but a call, my recorded calls would be in here. So if I was on a call, I would be prompted with a record button if it's given me as an option, and I click the link to record, and after the call is done, it would end up in this call recording bucket, if you will. Some other features in here. This is where I choose whether I'm going to use my computer or my desk phone for the call. And it also gives you microphone and speaker control. I can also add a number. So in the MyTel ShoreTel world, we call it external assignment. So we still have that functionality here in 8x8. A little further down, these are all our settings, right? My audio and video settings, I can take a look at those. My notification, how I want to be notified. Status. Right. Meetings. And so on. There's some keyboard shortcuts for those die-hard keyboard users. You know, some people do look for global shortcuts or app shortcuts. Here they are. If I always want to start the virtual desktop when I log into the computer, I set that there. If I want this application to be always on top, meaning it won't hide, I can add it there or opt to turn that on. Multiple chat windows. So I can have multiple chat windows open at the same time. Some people like that feature, some people don't. As you can see, it is in beta. It's a new feature, and you will see that typically this is how 8x8 rolls some new functionality. They'll actually opt it as a beta. They'll let you know that it's in beta. So if it's still not ready for prime time, they will publish it. You have the option of turning it off. But once they have, you know, they feel it is ready for prime time, if you will, that beta will come off in a new revision. And you still can turn it on and off, but you'll have the option. So one other item that, as you can see, we're in what we call our minimized view. If I take this and stretch it, it will actually open up another panel. This other panel is required if I'm in a meeting, right? But if I'm doing other functionality, really, if I do stretch it, I can see my my messages. But if I minimize it, my messages show back up here, right? So think of this as a minimized view, or for those folks that don't mind it taking up more room, they can stretch it. So that was an interesting one. That was a new feature that rolled out recently. So not easy to find, but not hard to do once you're aware of it.